I just want to make sure that got
House
said.
of Blue Leaves, this is something I've really been looking forward
I
to.
have a blue leaf. I have a blue leaf in the House of Blue Leaves. They threw these at the end, and I caught one.
I saw the last production with Stockard Channing and Swoosie Kurtz, and they were playing characters named Bunny and Bananas. And I just love the fact that you had two actresses named Stockard and Swoosie playing characters named Bunny and Bananas.
That's an excellent point. I hadn't thought of that.
And when I read that Edie Falco was going to be Bananas, I was thinking, huh? Because you're used to seeing her as strong women. And Bananas she can be manipulative, but this is an insane woman. And I just couldn't see Falco playing it until I saw her playing it.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed. This is House of Blue Leaves. It's actually a very sad story about a zookeeper, played here by Ben Stiller, who has a history with this play because he was in the previous revival
playing his son,
with Stockard Channing and Swoosie Kurtz. He played the son. Now he's playing the father. And his mother was, Anne Mira was in the original production of that.
Right,
which
before,
I did not see.
which I didn't.
So he's kind of, and here he's playing the lead role of a very frustrated zookeeper who is a songwriter. His wife is half insane, and he's practically ready to send her up to, insane asylum, which just happens to have a lot of bluebirds in the trees, and that's why they call it the House of Blue Leaves, because they look like blue leaves.
Right.
He's having an affair with this woman he met downstairs
Bunny
named Bunny
Flingus.
Yes.
Name to conjure
Jennifer
with.
Jason Leigh.
Yes. And I never figured out whether I liked her in this or not. She annoyed me so much, and I wasn't sure if she was supposed to or not. So I had trouble with her character.
This was, to me, the problem was I was comparing her to Stockard Channing, and there was this period where Stockard Channing was just so brilliant on stage when she did this, when she did Joe Egg, and just when she was, I didn't work in a ski lodge for nothing, and then she'd shout out Aspen, and she just hit it so beautifully. And
there's just something annoying about Lee's voice, and there often is with Jennifer Jason Leigh. So
I liked her, but she can't quite erase Channing's memory. On the other hand, Edie Falco, who, as Bananas, the woman, the half crazy woman who he is married to, is fabulous. Whether she's getting down and begging like a dog, or whether she's just watching things with this soulful expression, she really gives I think, the standout performance.
Well, she's been nominated as Best Featured Actress, and it's interesting that
I would have thought Best Actress.
There was a whole big thing. The Tonys did this also. Producers get to decide whether someone's Best Actress, and by the way, we say outstanding. We don't say Best Actress. So this is the outstanding featured performance. That's how the drama desk is different from. But
actually, no, everyone's saying outstanding. No one's the best, and they don't say and the Tony. They say and the award goes to. It's not the winner is anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, but she did something on stage that is really, really difficult. You've acted, I've acted, so we both know this. Being ever present in the moment without anything to say. She's on stage 95% of the time. Right. And she's sitting, and she's not speaking, and she's also not necessarily there in her mind, but you know that she's on stage, and you know that she's listening, whether she understands, and you can look at her face and tell that she's not sure what they're saying. And we were saying, Charles and I were,
she may be, because we find out she has her ways of manipulating.
Yes, but we were sitting next to each other across the aisle, very, very close. So we could see the sweat. It's
yeah, and I'll tell you, it has. I normally don't talk about the seats I get because I'm just happy to get a seat. But I was so close, and it was so intense.
It was. I
mean, I felt like I was in the room.
I know. We both felt that way.
And at one point I wanted to get up and say,
I know. But this is an absurdist comedy. There was a period of time as John Guar, and it's absurdist because it has nuns coming through the window, and it also has a visit from the Pope at the same time.
Well, the Pope is coming to town, and I think Pope
John
actually did, and these nuns are trying to see it, and I couldn't help smiling because I had just seen Sister Act. Right. So I'm with also
which
has
we'll talk about another time. Yeah.
Nuns in it. Basically, the again the zookeeper played by Ben Stiller, married to Edie Falco, has these songs and he has these dreams, and he wants to run off to Hollywood with Jennifer Jason
with Bunny,
Lee, Bunny,
right. Who will not cook for him. She will sleep with him, but she won't cook for him.
Well, because she's lousy in bed, but apparently she's a great
And
cook.
I thought, why didn't I think of that?
So their foreplay is over food instead of
right.
sex. And it's kind of cute. But he has a lifelong friend who's a major Hollywood director, and he's hoping to hook up with this guy and start life over. In the meantime, his son has come home. He's AWOL from the Army. And interesting, because this was 1972, he wants to make a name for himself by blowing up the Pope. And most of the characters talk to the audience at some point.
There's a lot of direct address
on that. And all in all, I like Ben Stiller.
I wanted to say something about that. I thought he was wonderful. I saw the John Mahoney one.
Right.
I thought John Mahoney was terrific, but I didn't like that production. Even though there were individual performances, I never understood the play. This time I understood the play perfectly. I mean, or at least what my concept of it is. But I got it. I followed it from A to B to C, and I saw what they were doing, and I understood the relationships. I really didn't get it the last time, but I did think that John Mahoney was perfect until I saw Ben Stiller. And Ben Stiller still has some juice. Mahoney played it as a much older man.
Yes.
And Ben Stiller plays it as a guy in his 40s, which is what Ben Stiller is. And
and what the character is.
And what the character
John Mahoney
is supposed to be.
was older.
He might have, he had grayer hair, so I don't know.
This is before Fraser,
though. But, it was before Fraser, right. Or maybe,
no,
it was before Fraser. But the point was that the relationship between him and Bunny also made sense to me, which it didn't before.
Really?
I really got the sense that they were a couple.
To me, I would say I like the previous production a little better because I just have such strong, wonderful memories of it. To me, I saw this more of a tragedy because here's this middle-aged man. He's living in this crummy apartment with his wife he's just very frustrated. Nothing has turned out for him. His son wants to blow up the Pope. His wife is insane. He has these dreams. And he's going nowhere. He's got this dead-end job, although apparently he does hold a prominent position at the zoo for a zookeeper, because when there's a crisis, they do call him. So he's got something, but he feels so boxed in.
Well, a lot of people feel boxed in.
Yes.
A word. David
but
Cromer is the director of this. Now, we loved Brighton Beach Memoirs, which closed in like 3 seconds, because what he did was to make it real and less funny, but more real, and give it more heart. And I think that's exactly what he did to this play, which is an absurdist comedy. So making it more real and giving it heart are perhaps antithetical to what you do with something like that, but that's what he did. He brought out those things, the very things that you're talking about. So when John Mahoney was carrying on about what is it, where is the devil in Evelyn?
In Evelyn's eyes.
In eyes, I don't know, anyway.
One
Whatever
of
that
the
is.
songs.
This time, I got the ridiculousness of it, and the fact that they were really, really bad songs. I mean, I suppose they were really bad songs when John Mahoney did them too. But there was just something. There was a reality level underneath all of the craziness that was going on that was moving.
The thing is, I found parts of it funny, but I found this a lot more tragic. Than I did the previous.
I agree.
I think that comes out a lot more.
But that's what I mean about the reality.
Yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't even call this an absurdist comedy because I didn't find it all that funny. It had certain moments.
But it's
one
written
moment
as one. I mean, whether you call it that or not, that's what it is.
You know what? The Merchant of Venice was supposed to be a comedy.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So
you're right. That makes a point.
So
what would you give this?
Well, I'm not quite finished with it yet.
Sorry.
I want to talk about Alison
Pill,
who shows up as a death movie starlet, which kind of provides some of the comic relief because she's Billy's girlfriend. At one point, Ben Stiller's character has put a phone call in, and he has sent her there just because he thinks his friend is going crazy, which actually is true. Unfortunately, she's deaf, and Bananas accidentally swallows her hearing aid. So she
swallows the batteries.
Yeah, they're talking. Well, the transistors. And so they're talking to her, and she's kind of trying, smiling, trying to understand what's happening, and it's a brief performance, but an excellent one.
Well, I love Alison Pill, and we've seen her in Lieutenant of Inishmore, and was it Lieutenant of Inishmore? The one about the cat, whatever that one was, maybe that was Lieutenant. It was Lieutenant of Inishmore. No, it was exactly Lieutenant of Inishmore, and she was in several other plays where she plays never a glamorous character. And she glams up real nice.
Oh,
she looked
yeah.
wonderful with the blonde wig and the long legs. I had no idea that she had all of that going on. So that was nice to see. Yeah, that was nice to see.
And also Mary Beth Hurt as the head nun. Yeah, Mary Beth Hurt.
Did I miss that?
Yes, you did.
Well,
she was kind of covered up.
I didn't bother looking, and I missed it. Mary Beth Hurt.
And
wow.
Haley Pfeiffer as the little nun.
Yes.
Who has one of the best lines in the play. I thought I'd be married to Jesus, but it looks like I'm getting a divorce because she ends up leaving the order.
Right.
Thomas Sadowski is Billy.
Yeah.
Also good.
Nice performance.
All in all, good solid production.
Very, very.
And I would give that 4.7 playbills. I'm sorry, not 4.5. 3 3/3. I think I'm doing that a lot tonight. Possibly even as high as 4 on that.
I could go 3 3/4. I could go 3 3/4 to 4. That would be. I would be on that wavelength with you.
Okay. And I see we are out of time, so when you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too.
On the aisle.
Yeah.